Hello class, good morning. Today we are beginning a new chapter. Okay, chapter number 7 from your book, which says reflection of light. So this is a chapter based on light, which we are now going to begin. So here we'll be learning about reflection, why reflection occurs, types of reflection, laws of reflection, and the formation of image by a plane mirror. These are the topics that we are going to cover here in this chapter. So first of all, let us understand what is reflection of light. Suppose, say, there is a surface, a beam of light. I have taught you about different beams of light, rays of light in class 7, if you all remember. I have taught you convergent beam, divergent beam in class 7 itself. So I have a beam of light. Okay, so this is my beam of light which is striking on this surface. Here I have a surface. Now when this beam of light, beam of light strikes on the surface, what happens is it bounces back to the same medium, understand, or it returns back to the same medium. This phenomenon is known as reflection of light. So here we saw that the light is returning back, isn't it? So the return of light into the same medium, after striking a surface, is called reflection of light. I hope now you have understood what is reflection of light. So your assignment for today, the first question is, what do you mean by reflection of light? So here this is your answer. So copy this in your notebook. So now next what we are going to learn is that you should remember that here the rays which are the beam of light or the rays of light which are bouncing back is not the whole light. The entire light does not reflect back, because whenever a ray of light is falling on a surface, what happens? A part of light gets reflected, understand, a part of light here gets absorbed by the surface or the medium, and if the material or the surface is transparent or translucent, some part of the light gets refracted. This we will learn in our part 2 book, that is refraction. So there are certain substances or certain surfaces which can absorb the entire light as well, understand. Yes, there are some surfaces which can allow the light to pass through them. Those substances or surfaces or medium is called transparent. All right, understand. So this reflection of light helps us or enables us to see the things around us or the different objects around us. So an object is seen when light from it enters our eyes, understand. So the luminous bodies which emit light by themselves are directly seen, but the non-luminous objects, the objects which cannot produce their own light or emit their own light, they are seen to us, or they are visible to us. Why? Because of the reflection of light. The light gets reflected from them and reaches our eyes, understand. Yes, clear. But there are certain substances which are highly, or certain surfaces which are highly polished. These highly polished surfaces have the capability or ability to reflect the entire light, though the entire light does not reflected back, gets reflected back, but we assume that the entire light gets reflected. Okay, for example, a mirror, okay, can reflect the entire light falling on them. Okay, now how is mirror made? So mirror is made, suppose say this is a piece of or a small plate of glass. Okay, so here I have a glass. So you know glass will have two surface, one on this side, one on this side. So on the back side it is silvered, means it is covered with some silvered color, understand, and to protect this silvered color some other material is what, painted on it, understand. So if I see this from the cross sectional area, this is my glass plate. So first of all there is a silver color which is painted on it, silvered, it is silvered. Then on top of it some other material is applied so that it protects the silver lining here, or the silvered part is protected. So this is how the mirror is made. Okay, so here when light falls on this end of the or this surface of the mirror, it gets reflected back. So plane mirror is the mirror which have the ability or capability of reflecting the entire light falling on them. Is it okay? All right, now let's see kinds of reflection. Okay, there are two kinds of reflection. Number one is regular reflection. Okay, and number two is irregular reflection. Okay, so your question number 2 for today's assignment is, what are the kinds of reflection? And here lies your answer. The kinds of reflection are regular reflection and irregular reflection. Right, okay, now let's learn them one by one. First of all, let's learn regular reflection. Now what is regular reflection? Okay, so regular reflection occurs, okay, when a beam of light falls on excuse me, a smooth and polished surface. Okay, so now if I have to represent, okay, it with a diagram or a figure, then this is my mirror, or you can call it plane mirror. This dot represents that this side is the polished or silver side, and this is the side from where the reflection will occur. So here I have beam of light falling on this plane surface. What happens? They are parallel to each other. Now after reflection, they are again a beam of light, okay, which are parallel to each other. So here both the incident rays and the reflected rays are parallel to each other. Such kind of reflection is called regular reflection. Regular reflection can occur from plane mirror, okay, or surfaces which are highly polished. So this can be your two examples. Okay, so this is your question number 3 for today's assignment. What do you mean by regular reflection? Okay, I'm dictating the question. What do you mean by regular reflection? Represent regular reflection with a diagram, okay, and give some examples from where regular reflection can occur. So this question number 3 has 3 parts, and first part is the answer for the first part is this one, answer for the second part is this one, and the examples of the surfaces which can give you regular reflection are here, that is plane mirror and highly polished surfaces. All right, so this is your regular reflection. Okay, if you want to refer this from your book, you can refer figure number 7.2 on your book under chapter number 7. All right, okay, so the next one is your irregular double R. Okay, irregular reflection. Okay, now when does a irregular reflection occur? Irregular reflection occurs when a beam of light falls on a rough surface. So a beam of light falls, okay, so you can write when a beam of light falls on a rough surface, okay, the reflection so formed is called irregular reflection. Okay, now if I have to show you the figure, this is my rough surface. Okay, here I have a beam of light which are falling on it. Okay, these are the rays of light. Now what happens here? Here the reflection are in random directions. Understand? So here the incident ray which are parallel to each other, okay, is not similar to the reflected rays, because reflected rays are in many other directions. Okay, so here what is happening, the reflected rays are not parallel to each other and not in a definite direction. So this represents your irregular reflection. Irregular reflection can occur, examples are walls, buildings, okay, different bodies that you see around yourself, trees, okay, whatever the things that you can see are all because of irregular reflection. So what I'm trying to say here is irregular reflection is actually the one which is responsible for our vision. We can see the things around us because of irregular reflection. Regular reflection has a very high glare, so it's not possible to see it. Understand? So we cannot see the regular reflection. Understand? But the irregular reflection is the reflection which is responsible for the vision. Okay, so question number 4, I'm dictating the question again here, so please write it. What do you mean by irregular reflection? Represent it with a diagram. So this is your question number 4. All right, okay, so these were the two types of or kinds of reflection. Now we are going to learn some terms, okay, which are related with reflection. All right, okay, so I have taught you about the mirror. So I have a mirror here. This dotted lines indicates that this side or this surface of the glass is silvered so that the reflection can occur from the upper part. Okay, so here I represent M and M1. So here my M1 is the mirror number 1. Okay, I am incidenting a ray of light, okay, AO. So number 2, my AO is incident ray. What is it? Incident ray. Now what is incident ray? The light ray striking a reflecting surface. Here this is my reflecting, this is my reflecting surface. So the ray which is striking, see, do not forget to put this arrowhead. This indicates that the ray is traveling from point A to point O. So the light ray striking a reflecting surface is called the incident ray. Understand? Now number 3, O. Now what is O here? O is the point of incidence. It is the point on the surface, reflecting surface, where the incident ray strikes. So it is your point of incidence, number 3. Okay, now what happens, the mirror or this surface reflects back the ray to the same medium. Okay, so let this be OB. So number 4, what is OB? OB is my reflected ray. OB is my reflected ray. Now what I will do is, next I will draw a dotted line here which is perpendicular, means 90 degree to the reflecting surface from point O and till N. Okay, so this number 5 ON will be my normal. Now what is normal? Normal is a perpendicular. Okay, this is 90 degree. Here angle NOM1 is how much? 90 degrees. So it is perpendicular to the surface or perpendicular to the reflecting surface. Understand? That is my normal. So the perpendicular drawn to the surface at the point of incidence is called normal. Now here you see that I have number 6. I have here angle AON. So what do I have here? Angle AON. Angle AON. So it's making some angle here. I'll name that angle as angle I. What is it? Angle I. So this is my angle I. Now what is my angle I? It is my angle of incidence. What is it? Angle of incidence. Similarly, if you see, I have one more angle here from N to O to B. So this angle, okay, this angle is my R. Now what is number 7? What is R? R is angle R is my angle of reflection. What is it? Angle of reflection. So now let us define these two angles. Now what is angle of incidence? The angle, okay, which is formed by the incident ray with the normal is called angle of incidence. The angle of reflection is the angle formed by the formed by the reflected ray with the normal. Reflected ray or normal le banako angle we call it as angle of reflection. What do we call it? Angle of reflection. Okay. Now the next is your plane of incidence. Now what is plane of incidence? The plane containing the incident ray and the normal is called the plane of incidence. And number 8, what is it? Number 9, what is it? Plane of reflection. The plane containing the reflected ray and the normal is called the plane of what? Reflection. All right, is it understood? Okay, so these are the some terms which are related with reflection. Okay, now your another work, that is question number 5, is to write the heading as some terms related to angle of reflection. Write number 1 mirror, define it. Number 2, write incident ray, define it. Number 3, point of incidence, define it. And reflected ray, define it. Then normal, then angle of incidence, angle of reflection, then plane of incidence and plane of reflection. These 9 things you have to define, okay, along with this diagram. Understand? This is your now assignment number 5. Clear? Okay, now we will learn the last topic for today, and it's laws of reflection. What is it? Laws of reflection. Now there are 2 laws of reflection. Now number 1 is the angle of incidence. Okay, angle of incidence, okay, that is I, is okay equal to the angle of reflection, that is R. So here angle I equals to angle R. This is your first law of reflection. Okay, so you can write that is angle I equals to angle R. Second law, there are two laws of reflection. Okay, first law is angle of incidence that is I is equal to the angle of reflection R, that is angle I equals to angle R. The second one is the incident, okay, the incident ray, the reflected ray, okay, the reflected ray and the normal, okay, and the normal at the point of incidence, okay, lie in same plane. This is your second law. Now let me explain. First law says that the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So this is my incident ray, this is my normal, this is my reflected ray, this is my angle I, this is my angle R. So the first law says that if this angle I is 30 degree, angle R will also be 30 degree. That is angle, okay, I equals to angle R. This was your first law. Second law, here I have a plane surface or the reflecting surface or a mirror. So here the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal, they lie where? At the point of incidence. Where does it lie? At the point of incidence, okay, incidence, and at same plane. Now I'll try to explain you what I mean by same plane. So if this is my reflecting surface and if this is my incident ray and it's striking at this point is called point of incidence. Now it doesn't mean that the reflected ray will come from somewhere here. Okay, it should be at the same plane, at this plane itself, not in the other plane, you orco plane bio, isn't it? So what I'm trying to say is that if this is my reflecting surface, if the incident ray is striking here, okay, if the incident ray is striking here, okay, my reflected ray should also begin from the same point and it should be at the same plane, and the normal should lie from the same plane. Means these three things, incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal should lie at the same plane at the point of incidence. So point of incidence batai tinta kuro jodeko huनुपर्छ and it should also lie here on the same plane. So this is your second law of reflection. Okay, or you can call it as other law of reflection. So you saw that there are two laws of reflection. So last assignment for today, excuse me, okay, that is assignment 6. Assignment 6 is state the laws of reflection. This is your question number 6 or the 6th assignment for today's class, and you can take it as an assignment for the entire week. All right, so I hope you have understood. If you have any doubts or any queries, you can ask me. All right, so that's all for today. Thank you.